Breaking down psychological research. Understanding psychological research is essential for professionals in the field as well as for the general public interested in the science of human behavior. This article provides an overview of how psychological research is conducted, interpreted, and applied, offering insights into the rigorous processes that underlie the studies shaping our understanding of the mind and behavior. Types of psychological research. 1. Experimental research. This type of research is characterized by the manipulation of an independent variable to observe its effect on a dependent variable, while controlling other variables. It's the gold standard for determining cause and effect relationships. 2. Correlational research. These studies examine the relationships between variables, which allows researchers to identify trends and make predictions. However, they cannot establish causality. 3. Qualitative research. This involves non-numerical data collection such as interviews, observations, and open-ended surveys. It's used to gain deeper understanding of individual experiences and is often exploratory in nature. 4. Longitudinal studies. These involve repeated observations of the same variables over long periods of time and are particularly useful for studying development and life changes. 5. Cross-sectional studies. These studies analyze data from a population at one specific point in time. This method is often used to compare different population groups at a single point in time. Critical evaluation of research. To critically evaluate psychological research, consider the following aspects. Methodology. Assess whether the research design suitably addresses the research question. Look at sample size, controls, and the methods used to gather data. Bias and limitations. Consider potential biases in how data was collected and interpreted. Researchers should clearly state the limitations of their study. Statistical analysis. Review the statistical methods used to analyze data. This includes understanding how researchers drew conclusions from their data and whether those conclusions are statistically significant. Relevance and application. Evaluate how the research findings can be applied in real-world settings. This involves considering the practical implications of the results. Ethics in psychological research. Ethical considerations are paramount in psychological research to protect participants from harm and to ensure that the research is conducted in a morally acceptable way. Key ethical guidelines include informed consent. Participants must be fully informed about the nature of the study and consent to participate without any coercion. Confidentiality. Researchers must protect the privacy of participants and handle data confidentially. Avoiding harm. Research should avoid causing physical or psychological harm to participants. Debriefing. Participants should be provided with a complete explanation of the study after their participation ends, especially if the study involves deception. Interpreting research findings. Interpreting research findings involves understanding the implications of the results within the context of existing knowledge. Researchers often discuss how their findings contribute to or challenge existing theories and the potential for future research. Conclusion. Breaking down psychological research is a skill that improves with practice and knowledge. By understanding the types of research, methods of critical evaluation, ethical considerations, and approaches to interpretation, one can better appreciate the complexities and contributions of psychological studies. This understanding not only enhances professional competence but also enriches the general comprehension of how research findings impact everyday life and policy.